HELOCs can make you rich. Why I love them. Oh yeah, you heard that right. I know. So many people tell you that HELOCs are scary and dangerous and that you shouldn't do them. Well, maybe even I said that. But they are awesome. I absolutely love them. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to give you a full, detailed explanation on HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, and why you should love them. I'm going to share with you my biggest insider secret from working more than 15 years in mortgage banking, things that most people do not even know about HELOCs. I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to share with you the real reason why most people don't get rich with HELOCs, but why you can. So let's talk about what is a HELOC, because this is so important. A HELOC is a home equity line of credit. That is what HELOC stands for. And it is a type of loan, it is a type of mortgage that allows you to tap into the equity in your home. Most people do not think it's a mortgage, but it is truly a mortgage. It's just a different type of mortgage. The great thing about HELOCs, what most people do not know, is that it is similar to any other line of credit, meaning you have access to the full amount. So if they give you a line of credit for $100,000, you do not have to use the entire thing. You could use $5,000 or $10,000, and you would only have to make payments on the amount that you used. So for example, if you have a house and you have $100,000 worth of equity, meaning you have a house, it's worth $100,000 and you don't owe any money on it, you could probably tap into like $80,000 and have that at your disposal at any time. Or if you had a home and you've paid down the first mortgage, you could get a HELOC as the second mortgage, and now you have money to do other things with. Let's talk about that. So let's talk about the bad side of HELOCs, because before I tell you why I love them, I have to tell you the bad side, because it's true. There is a bad side to HELOCs. Like I said, HELOCs are awesome because they allow you to tap into the equity in a property, meaning you now have money. You turned equity, which is this intangible thing, not anything you can hold in your hand or spend at the bank. Equity is money, on paper you have worth, but if you have equity and you don't cash it out, there's not really much you can do with it. It's just kind of on paper. But a HELOC allows you to draw against that equity and now have money that you could use to spend on things. And the problem with the HELOC is most people do not realize that, one, it is a mortgage. Yes, it's a line of credit, kind of like a credit card, but it is attached to your property. You are using your property, your real estate, as collateral for that loan. So if something bad happens and you're not able to pay for it, you can get foreclosed on. That's the bad side. But let me tell you the really bad side, because again, in most cases, you should be able to pay it off, or you could just sell the house if for some reason you can't make your payments on your HELOC. But where most people really fall down is what they use the money for. HELOCs can be awesome, but if you just spend the money on a vacation or paying some bills, you're probably going to end up in a lot of trouble, and you may end up losing your home and everything else. So now let's talk about why I love HELOCs, because again, if you are careful and you know and understand that a HELOC is a mortgage and that it is attached to your property, and not paying that HELOC could end in a foreclosure, you now have a bigger understanding than most people ever do. But the key to a HELOC is, what are you going to do with the money? That is so important. So many people will get a HELOC and they'll do one of two bad things. They'll do one, they'll spend the money, blow it on a vacation or paying off some bills, and then they rack those bills right up and now they don't have any equity or any money and all those bills are still there. That's one bad thing. Or they take it and they don't do anything with it. Some people will get a home equity line of credit and never spend any of the money or use it. What is the point of having all of this money if you're not going to invest it? That's the key word. You don't want to spend the money, you want to invest it. So if you get a HELOC, let me tell you how it can make you rich. The thing that I do with HELOCs, and what I did to make me a ton of money, is I use my HELOCs to invest in real estate. I have used my HELOCs to get me more income producing properties. So for example, I bought a home subject to, meaning I was able to get a property, the property is in my name and the mortgage remained in the previous owner's name. They sold the property to me subject to. Now, we had a separate agreement, and of course, I had to make the mortgage payments, and then eventually I refinanced out of that and put the mortgage in my name. It was an amazing way for me to get properties at a very cheap price, not spending very much money. And I made an entire video teaching you exactly how to do this. Make sure you check out that entire playlist because I teach you all of this. But when I refinanced it out of my name, I actually had a lot of equity because when I refinanced it, they did an appraisal. They appraised the property. So I had the property and it was worth now about $200,000 and the mortgage on it was a little over $100,000. So I had nearly $100,000 worth of equity in a property that I had only had for like a year. So I wanted to tap into that equity so I could get more properties. So I refinanced out of that mortgage, the other person's mortgage, put it in my name, and then I got a HELOC for $80,000. I was able to get a HELOC for $80,000, a second mortgage on that property, and I used that money to buy 5 more properties. I think it was even more than that, just being honest with you. Think about this. I got that first property that I'm doing. I only got that one for like $15,000 is all I had to spend to get it. If you can get a property for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and someone gives you $80,000, you can get a lot more properties, right? So that's what I did. I only used my HELOCs to get me more rental properties. That's it. Nothing else. No paying down any bills, no going on vacation, no purses, no shoes, no Chanel glasses. Okay, guys? You only want to use a home equity line of credit, in my opinion, to get more income producing real estate. And so that is why I absolutely love HELOCs, and that is how I have made myself rich. I have an entire course that I created where I teach you all of this and more. You can access that free training at noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelles, free, Free, training, training.com, noellsfreetraining.com. It's a complete course. It's about an hour long that teaches you how to invest in real estate with little to no money and make a lot of money in the process. It's absolutely free and it's made just for you. Please check it out. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.